the house, the one they talking about, word of mouth. The Boxing Playhouse, without a doubt. All the latest and greatest boxing news, that's what it's all about.
What's up, everybody? This is Boxing Playhouse, and this is After Dark series. And I got my man, Leo Santa Cruz.
What's up, y'all?
And of course, I'm Sakura A. Tonight, we got a loaded show, but first, we've got the incomparable, legendary, living icon, sports broadcaster extraordinaire, okay, Al Bernstein. Yay! I'm so happy to have him with us tonight. And then we also have Lucas Biggers joining us tonight from Heavy Bag Boxing. You know, you usually see it the opposite way with him I'm on with him on Tuesday night. So I'm excited to have him on for the first time too. He's been hiding out from it. So let's go ahead and get this party started. I'm ready to talk about Gervonta Tank Davis and Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz.
That's right. So everybody, come on up and join us. We got Al Bernstein.
Hi there.
Hi. How's it going?
I'm doing good. I love your open. I love your graphic. Very nice.
Well, thanks.
Yeah,
saying welcome to our house. Al, thanks so much for your time tonight. And we know you're a busy guy. And in honor of all this, you know, I had to wear my Showtime shirt for you.
Oh, look at that. Very snappy. Very nice. Very nice indeed.
All right. And then Lucas Biggers, come on up so you can say hey to Al.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you?
Not bad. Good to see somebody from my area. I'm here in Springfield, Illinois. I know you're from Chicago.
Oh, I am from Chicago. Yes. Yeah. Fellow Illinoisan.
Yeah.
All right. And then Clarence McLean is with us tonight, and he's joining us from New York, our fan club extraordinaire. There you go.
Hey, how you doing, everybody?
So, Clarence.
Hey,
awesome.
We got a party here, huh?
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen. First topic. You know, this is hot topics. We have to talk about Gervonta Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz on Showtime's pay-per-view boxing night, Saturday night. Of course, I can't wait to hear all of you guys' predictions and what you feel might happen. I mean, Al, you know I'm a fan of your keys to success. I know you can't give me out any hints, but I mean, can you give us a little hint? One little key to success for Leo Santa Cruz?
I mean, like a tip for how he's going to do and stuff?
Yeah.
I'm kind of didn't hear that part. Well, you know, I think the thing to me about Leo is that this fight all hinges on whether he can frustrate Tank Davis for about 6 or 7 or 8 rounds, not get hit with something huge, and so that he doesn't get knocked out or hurt badly. And then he's hoping that Tank Davis, as he said it when he was on my show, he thinks he will gas, and then he'll be able to go after him with his volume punching later in the fight. So, you know, it's interesting. He kind of has to change a little bit about who he is,
Right.
Leo. But you know, it's an interesting ploy, and we'll see if it works.
Absolutely. I was listening in on their press conference, and you know, Floyd Money Mayweather was on, and he was saying, well, he might need to use some skills. He wants Gervonta not to rely so much on power and let people see that he really has some skills. I mean, is this a ploy, a tactic, or do you think that Gervonta can, you know, show us a little finesse and versatility?
Well, you know, it's funny you're saying that. So, like, if we go back to ancient times, which unfortunately I can remember, like when Marvin Hagler fought Sugar Ray Leonard, and you know, Marvin Hagler kind of got caught up in a game with Ray Leonard. He wanted to show he could outbox Ray Leonard, when in reality that wasn't really necessary. It was better for him to rough him up, and he fought the first 3 rounds right-handed, and he wanted to show he could outbox him. And you have to worry if what he's saying is not a ploy, if Gervonta Davis really does want to kind of show he can show his boxing skills, it could take him off his game, when in reality, let's face it, power is what the main thing in this fight that he brings to the table.
Yes, you're correct. And the thing that I love about Gervonta as a boxing fan and many boxing fans is that we feel like we're going to see some power every time, and that we get that KO more than likely. It didn't happen in his last fight, but, it was 2 days after Christmas. What can we say?
Yeah.
And we were in Atlanta, too. Remember that? That was like in the South.
Yeah, that's right. True.
Lucas, do you have a question, or do you want to follow up with what you think Leo can do to win this fight?
Well, for me, I kind of wanted to touch on another fight. To me, the most intriguing fight would be Usyk versus Chisora.
Okay.
And the question would be, can Usyk handle the power at heavyweight? And does he have enough power to keep Chisora honest? I want to know what Al thought about that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Usyk is a terrific fighter. I mean, he was, as a cruiserweight, he was just amazing. He's so skillful, but we haven't yet seen that at heavyweight in the one fight he's had. Chisora should be a guy that he could outbox, but Chisora is a tough customer, right? He has power, and I think we're either gonna see Usyk at his very best, and we're gonna find out, yes, he's going to be a player at the heavyweight division, or we're going to find out that the extra weight that he's putting on is a problem for him. Because if he struggles with Chisora a lot, or of course loses, I think it's going to demonstrate us that maybe the move up to heavyweight isn't going to work for him.
Do you think it's going to be like an action-packed fight or a more tactical of a fight?
I think Usyk would like it to be more technical. Chisora would like to get in there and, hope that it was a war. But, so if it is more technical, Usyk will probably, it'll be better for him.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be another great fight. But, I love Regis Prograis, and he's also on the undercard for Showtime's pay-per-view fight this weekend. And, I mean, is this going to be more like a tune-up fight, or do we need to be paying attention to this fight and he has someone in there with him that's going to possibly cause him some problems?
Well, Juan Heraldez is undefeated, and Heraldez is talking about Prograis like he's ordinary. He keeps saying he's not special. There's nothing special about him, which is, he said it like over and over again. So apparently he believes that. But I think Prograis deserves to be the favorite in this fight. And Heraldez is a good fighter. He's technically sound and all the rest of it, but he doesn't have a lot of power. And I just don't know if he can hang in there with Prograis. But we've seen some upsets in recent times in boxing, and this is one of those fights where you could see Regis Prograis looking a little bit past him as he looks to get back in in a title situation in the 140-pound division. I don't think he should, because it's all hinging on this, but you never know.
I'm really concerned because, I'm not concerned, but I'm curious as to the PBC move. Like, do they already know that they're trying to line him up for a specific fighter?
Yeah.
Already moved up to 147. I know for Prograis, he's saying he wants to get a championship at 140, another championship at 140. I mean, what do you think about that? Is there, PBC?
Well, he could be. Yeah, I mean, he's not going to. Josh Taylor and Ramirez are over there getting ready to fight, and that's on Top Rank and on ESPN. So he probably wouldn't have access to them right now. Now, one of the fights they could make, if Mario Barrios, who's fighting on the card, beats Ryan Carl, which people are expecting him to. it would be very interesting to see Prograis against Barrios. And that would be a really good fight. And that would, of course, give Prograis a shot at a 140-pound championship. So it could be, or as you point out, maybe they already know that Prograis is thinking about going up to welterweight. And, of course, there's all kinds of welterweights out there for him to fight.
Right, including Maurice Hooker.
That's true. That is true, yeah.
All right, Clarence, you're up. You got a question for Al or something to add from these fights?
What was the fight Lucas brought? The heavyweight fight is what I wanted to talk about.
Usyk versus Chisora.
Yeah, both of the guys. What do they have to do to sell out to win? You know, I mean, what's the strength and what's the weakness for both of the guys?
Which fight did you say?
Usyk
The heavyweight.
Oh, Usyk and Chisora? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you know, I think be curious to see what you guys say, but you know, I think for Usyk, he needs to get back to what he was doing as a cruiserweight. Get back to boxing effectively, being busy, throwing a lot of punches, and winning with that. You know, I think, you know, the cruiserweights, sometimes they think they have to put on too much weight and they have to be more like heavyweights, when in reality, they should be more like cruiserweights, because that's what makes them special. You know, that's what makes the division special, that they're big enough to hurt people, but small enough and in shape enough, right, so that they can give a lot of activity and use volume punching and all the rest. So I think that's what he needs to do. Chisora, I think it boils down to getting him into a firefight and testing him with your power. You know, Chisora has pretty good power, and if he can land something significant, you know, he might get him.
That's a good point too. I'm thinking about the experience that Chisora has in championship fights. I mean, up to now,
Yeah, he's fought a lot of good heavyweights, yeah.
So I feel like it might be closer than we're thinking. Like you're saying, we still don't know if he can handle the power of real heavyweights or not. So
Right. Yeah, exactly. We don't really know that yet, do we? And we, you know, we may find out during the course of this fight.
for sure. Now I want to talk a little bit about your new podcast, Unplugged.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
Yeah,
Look, you got the graphic up there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Look sharp, Al.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm having a ball doing this. I was late to the podcasting game, and then I got pushed into it. And then once I started doing it, they right away they got it syndicated on TV, and which was, you know, a lot of fun. Although I have to say, doing the podcast and the TV stuff and doing the Showtime, from a time standpoint, all of a sudden I was like busier than I could imagine, which was, you know, kind of hit me out of the blue. But it's a lot of fun. I love interviewing, and you know, in the last 20 years or so since I've been at Showtime, you know, before in my career I did a lot more interviewing, but in recent years I haven't done as much, and I really enjoy it. I love interviewing people, and so this has kind of brought me back to that, and it's been fun. We've had a lot of fun guests on, and and Vinny Pazienza helped me rediscover my inner swear word. You know, I think he brought it in. He brought the podcast into the X-rated world.
I mean, that's a good thing about podcasts. You know, you don't have to be.
It doesn't matter.
Censored. Yeah.
It's funny. The guy doing our podcast said, because I said, well, we can't put it on TV, obviously. I said, but I guess it's okay to have on the podcast. He said, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, some nights it's worse than others. It depends on how passionate we are about the fight game that's coming on.
Yeah, exactly. But it's been fun. I've really enjoyed it.
Hey Al, what motivated you to want to do a? You know, I know you've been behind the camera at Showtime for years, but what motivated you to want to do a podcast?
You know, people kept telling me I should do it, and I kept saying, well, okay. And then finally, this one company they called me and said, look, we're going to do everything. We're not going to make it. We're going to make it as easy for you as we can, and and they kind of, talked me into it. And then I thought about it, and I thought, I do enjoy interviewing. I enjoy talking to people. And the great thing that I kind of thought at the beginning, and it's turned out to be true, is it allows me to actually connect with people that I wouldn't otherwise talk to. Does that make any sense? It's like people you could pick up the phone and talk to, but maybe you don't. And so you end up kind of doing it on the air, if you will, And so that's part of the thing. And you talk to people you don't know. I mean, I've got an interview coming up with Chris Cyborg. Now I know her, but I've never really had a conversation with her.
Wow, that's cool.
So, it's unique, and it's kind of different. So yeah, so I think it's something different. It's more diverse, and I like that. That's kind of fun.
Well, Emilio has a question for you next.
Yeah, Al, I just wanted to ask you a question. I've been watching boxing ever since I think the first fight that really caught my attention was when Foreman and Frazier fought the second time.
Oh yeah, okay.
So every Saturday since then, back in the wild world of sports days, the sports Sundays, I've been watching fights, every weekend. But I want to know, the most anticipated fight that I ever wanted to see till this day was Leonard and Hearns 1.
Oh.
So I want to know, what was the most anticipated fight that you ever wanted to see since you've been watching?
You mean like one that did happen?
One that happened or didn't happen.
Yeah, or it didn't happen. Yeah. That's a good question. I think the one that didn't happen was Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe. When Riddick Bowe was in his prime, he was fantastic. And Lennox Lewis is fantastic. And I always thought that was going to be a great fight. And it didn't happen for a variety of reasons. But that's one that, I really was anticipating that didn't happen. The one that did happen, and of course it turned out to be amazing, was Hagler Hearns. Back in the day when I was announcing a lot of the fights for those four great fighters. I said to myself, what would be the one combination of these four guys that would probably produce the most fireworks? And I kept thinking it would be Hagler Hearns, and sure enough, they got together, and amazingly, they did produce fireworks galore. That's actually the second best fight I've ever announced. The first best fight was Castillo Corrales.
Oh. I also know you also announced a couple of Duran's bouts.
Yeah,
pretty amazing.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying that must have been pretty amazing.
Yeah, the one fight that was astonishing was Duran and Barkley. That was amazing, and that was crazy because it was in Atlantic City, and in February, and all of a sudden, the night before the fight, the New Jersey area was hit with this amazing snowstorm, one of the worst they'd had in decades. So everything on the East Coast was at a standstill. So we had to walk over from the hotel to the Boardwalk Hall, and you could barely, there's a blizzard, and you got there, and we wondered, would anybody even show up? And sure enough, as the undercard was happening, people were trickling in, and finally, before the main event, every seat was filled. It was amazing. It was like a miracle. And the fight itself, of course, was amazing. I did that fight. I actually did play-by-play in that fight with Gil Clancy, who was a great mentor and friend to me. And it was a great fight. To this day, I feel bad for Iran Barkley, though, because I really thought Barkley won that fight. And if he was fighting anybody other than Duran, and I think he got kind of some legend points, I mean, I think he's been given a little extra, even though he fought a very good fight, Duran. But, I always felt bad for Iran because that was a tough loss for him. But it was a great, great moment, a great fight.
Al, I know you've been commentating for a long time. How many more years do you see yourself doing this?
It's funny. I would like to do at least 3 or 4 more years. I'm enjoying doing it, and hopefully I haven't lost too much off my fastball. That's for other people to decide. I'd like to do a few more years. I would, if I could do that, I'd be happy. And that's one of the other reasons why I'm happy about doing this show, because that gives me something else that I can do without having to travel. You know, I mean, I've been a road warrior for a long time, running around the country. And now traveling's pretty tough, you know.
Absolutely. Speaking about your career in broadcasting, I did have a question from one of our fans. They are actually in their final year of their broadcasting school. So they wanted to know exactly what made you go into broadcasting and how you got this, I guess, how you transitioned over to the boxing world.
Yeah, well, the way I got into it was I knew I wanted to be. I was a newspaper. I always knew I wanted to do something in sports, but I was the newspaper editor in Chicago. And the weird thing was I kept getting pushed ahead. I was in my 20s, and I was doing hard news for Learner Newspapers, which is a chain of newspapers in Chicago. And I kept getting pushed ahead in hard news. Like I won this award for this investigative series I did. So they made me managing editor of this chain of papers. And I didn't want to be managing editor. I just wanted to go write sports somewhere. And finally, so I couldn't get a job. The amazing thing was I was editing this group of newspapers, but I couldn't get a job as a sports writer in the Chicago daily newspapers, which was crazy. So I was freelancing in sports, and that's kind of how I ended up writing this book on boxing. And then when ESPN came to town, in Chicago was one of their stops for the ESPN boxing series. And I clawed my way in, and I worked for free at the beginning and just to be a part of the show. And it gave me my break to do broadcasting.
So what would be your advice for that future broadcaster? What would
it's a unique time now, because look what you're doing right now here. This didn't exist, right? 25 or 30 years ago. We now can eliminate the middleman and do things where you can, send your message to people without having a gatekeeper that's going to prevent you from doing it. And this is the greatest experience for people. And I always say, the trick is how you use it. Do you use it to be better as a broadcaster, or do you just use it to satisfy your own whims or and it's okay. It doesn't have to lead to anything. If for people doing things, whether it's podcasts or whatever, it can just be fun and enjoyable, and it doesn't have to be something that. But if somebody is looking for a career and they want to make it work, they get reps, they get practice reps, they get a chance to do it.
Absolutely.
Al, can you give me one good Mike Tyson story?
Oh, okay. I'll give you a really good one. So Mike Tyson. So I was at ESPN when Mike Tyson's trial, happened, but I didn't cover the trial for the alleged rape, and I didn't cover the trial, but I was clearly kind of the voice of boxing at ESPN, and he didn't like their coverage of the trial, and when he came out of prison, he was going to do he fought Peter McNeely. ESPN had gotten the rights to do the weigh-in, and we were televising the weigh-in live. Well, Charlie Steiner was like hosting, and he was the one that actually covered the trial. But I was there interviewing the fight. I was right next to the podium, and I interviewed Peter McNeely, and they had arranged for us to interview Tyson. Well, I interviewed Peter McNeely, and Tyson comes off, and he's sitting there, and he's taking his time, putting on his pants and his shoes, and it's live TV, right? So every second seems like an hour. And finally, I just said, "Well, I'm just going to." I said, "Well, let's see if we can get a chance." And I snuck through two people and got in between and got right next to Tyson. I said, "Let's see if we can get a few words. Can we get a few words from you, champ?" And he looked at me, and said, "No fucking way."
Wow.
I like you. So
wow.
I looked and I said, "All right, I'm going to take that as a no." Back to you, Charlie.
Damn, he was so.
He was clearly, he was waiting for that moment to to give the middle finger to ESPN. It just so happened I was the guy there.
Oh my goodness. So we got a few
And
times.
you know what I just did there? That's the first time I've ever used the F word in any interview anywhere. I swear to you.
You're on the playhouse, huh?
Thank you. We love that. Because we're regular boxing fans. We want to talk the way it really is. We got to
There you go.
We like to do the real deal.
Live and uncut.
That's right.
So you guys can have that scoop. You're the first one.
Thank you so much, Al. This is why I love you. Okay, Lucas, you're up because Al is almost out of time on us.
Yeah, I wish I didn't have to go, but I've got another interview that I have to do for the fight this weekend, the Davis Santa Cruz broadcast, and Showtime will get mad if I don't make that interview. Then I'm going to have to be I'll have to be your apprentice. I'll be the guy. I'll be around the studio.
No, I just wanted to thank you, Al, because actually when I was starting my own stuff about 8 years ago, I actually sent you some of my articles. You've read them. You replied. One of them was about Gotti and actually if he belonged in the Hall of Fame. So I just appreciate you. That's all.
I'm sorry. I didn't interrupt.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I'm glad I did respond, and I try to do that because there were times when I was starting out and then I'd send things to people, and when they responded or they actually took the time, it meant the world to me. So I try very hard to do that when, if at all humanly possible.
Yeah, it definitely did mean a lot, so I appreciate it.
That's cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
This was meaningful on many levels. Number one, I used the F word. Number two, I was able to conquer technology to figure out. I thought this was just a Zoom invitation, which I knew how to do. I had to actually figure out a couple things. So I technologically, I did well. So my self-esteem is soaring tonight.
Hey, that's
Thank
all
you.
right.
Thank you. And I'm glad you made our confidence go up too.
All right, well, there you go. Hey, nice to visit with you guys. We'll do it again.
Thank you, Mr. Al.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
Al.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Appreciate
All
it.
right. We'll be watching this weekend.
All righty.
All right. Wow. Al is amazing, guys. Isn't he cool?
Very cool. Very, very.
Down to earth, dude.
Very
Yes.
down to earth. Damn, I would have been scared to interview Tyson back in the day, guys. I mean, there's no way I would ever even just. I'll be like, you know what? Why don't you go ahead and do this one? I got to use the bathroom. Like I wouldn't be avoiding him.
You would have had to be careful because you got to remember Mike loves women, so you would have had to be careful. Emilio, you would have had a fight on your hands.
They have to pay me hazard pay and some extra dental insurance or something. It seems to be getting knocked out.
Yeah, Lucas, if you'd have walked up to him and you caught him on the wrong day, he'll be like, "Oh, your eyeball sure looks delicious."
Oh man, yeah,
You not
he was
right for
scary
that.
back then. Now I'd interview him because he's a little bit more calm.
Yeah.
I think
Oh yeah,
that weed calmed the man down, but ain't no way I would have interviewed that man back then.
Man,
No.
the marijuana would have been really good. The best thing I liked about what he was saying was just the fact that we have new avenues that when we want to do something, we don't have to wait for a gatekeeper to say, okay, they're good. We can go ahead and do, thanks to technology, we can all go ahead and do what we want to do and enjoy ourselves on our podcast, which we do.
Yeah. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, like I said, what I told him was true. I mean, 8 years ago, it was one of my first actual articles for heavy bag boxing when I was creating it. And I sent it to him. I didn't really expect him to actually reply, but he replies to fans. It was really awesome of him, and it did build my confidence. And I think maybe without him, maybe there wouldn't be heavy bag boxing right now 8 years later. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, because who takes our time to do that?
Yeah.
Been chatting with you for a little while.
Yeah, about a year and a half. If I have a comment and I say something about boxing or go comment on his tweets, he'll tweet back or respond to me. I think that's really cool. I mean, not everybody in the business is going to do that at all,
Yeah, I ventured away from Twitter And I think I need to get back on there. That's kind of where the roots for everything started. So I need to get back to it. I mean, sometimes with interviews, you feel like you're bugging people, like, hey, we come on my show. Hey, we come on my show. But it's nice when a guy like Al, he'll just, if he gets a free chance. But I mean, he's a busy dude.
Right.
Well, you know what, Lucas? Some people forget how it used to be when they was in that position. So when they get in a high position, some people forget. But Mr. Al is not one of those. So thank God for people like him.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, guys, I want to tell our guest that I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to read your comments while he was on the podcast because he only had a limited time and he now has to fulfill an obligation with Showtime for an interview with a boxer. So we got, cut short, but I'm grateful for those 25 minutes we did have. I knew it was going to go by quick. We all got to ask the question or two, so that's good. I think we went around like twice. So what else did we ask for? Now, getting back to these fights for this weekend, I guess we can go back to our hot topics. Lucas is crazy about Usyk. And I'm going to see Leo this weekend. Who are you most excited about this weekend? Because there are also some ESPN bouts too with the Monster. Yeah. So, which one?
I guess out of these few fights, I guess the Tank fight. I'm more excited about seeing. Yeah, that's the pay-per-view. So, the Tank fight.
I mean, I somewhat agree with you guys. I do think the Tank fight is going to be probably the more exciting of the fights. I just think more will be found out in the Usyk fight, if that makes sense. We're going to learn a little bit more. I think we're not going to really learn anything with Santa Cruz and Davis. It's just going to be fireworks. It's going to be very entertaining. But I don't know how much we're going to learn in that fight.
Do you think we're going to learn whether or not Tank can be on weight?
I still doubt it. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know.
You have been adamant, Lucas. You and the other weight bully monitors, you guys, they are acting like Tank has been overweight every freaking fight.
Okay, but
I tried to go back and find out exactly how many fights it was, and it's just 2.
Okay.
You sound a little angry, Lucas. Are you angry? Are you
mad? But here's the thing: is okay, it's one thing to miss weight and then be like, I have a problem making this weight, and they move up, right?
Right.
Because you can no longer make that weight. He's missed the weight twice and has not moved up. That's disrespectful, okay? And it's laziness from the sound of it. As a pro fighter to miss weight twice and not have moved up after. Come on now.
Well, I want to say something to you right now, because if he comes in overweight, as Tim, our colleague at Heavy Bag, predicted, okay, he's saying that he's going to be overweight on purpose. Yes, in order to have the advantage over Leo. Yeah. Do you agree or disagree, guys?
I think that could be a plan. That's hard to say whether he's doing it on purpose or whether he's not, because clearly, like I said, he already missed weight twice, so he could just have problems making weight altogether. But to say it doesn't give him a tactical advantage would also be a lie. So, I mean, it may just be a happy accident that he doesn't make weight at this point.
I mean, listen, if he doesn't make weight, I will eat crow myself, because damn, if he can't make weight while he's in Las Vegas at the Mayweather gym with all the handlers watching him and TMT on his case 24/7, Ellaby going through interviews with him, Floyd supporting him like he does no other boxer, then I will have to eat crow.
I mean, there's a chance that it would be on purpose. You got to look at, who's on his team. Floyd Money Mayweather. He knows how to take advantage of situations, knows how to get the upper hand at any point in time. And, Floyd's himself done it. He could have made that weight against Marquez. He chose not to because he was on a long layoff, and he did not even want to press himself.
I knew you was going to say that. Y'all was going to always bring up this Marquez fight.
It's true. Look, I'm not – obviously he kicked the shit out of Marquez, but let's face it, Marquez gained a lot of weight, And then Floyd did not make weight. I mean, that's doubly bad. Marquez had a lot of water weight that fight.
Yeah, he was like, he was just like,
it was bad shape.
It was too much. It was too much for him.
He was waiting. Baby.
Yeah, that was a time for training. He was actually drinking his own pee for nutritional purposes.
Hey, but Lucas, that doesn't take away that Tank is going to win, Lucas. So just accept it, okay?
I picked him. I picked him, Clarence. By the way, it's good to match a voice with your comments.
Right. We have to get him on here every now and again because, you know, he got a lot of New York style things to tell us. So, you know, I was kind of nervous with the Al Bernstein situation, especially when you got to try to rush and try to like get to all the topics you want to talk about.
Yeah, sometimes having guests, man, it's a little nerve-wracking.
It is, but he took the time. He took the time to come, and that's the beautiful thing because he has so much things going on. Just to take those couple of minutes, it means a lot.
It does. Very respectful.
We got Linda Platt on here. What's up, Linda? And she's talking about Mike Tyson.
Uh-oh.
She says, I love working with Mike, and he was always a perfect gentleman with me. That's because he knew better, Linda. He knew better than to mess with you, okay? Because he was going to get it. That's what that was.
Yeah.
But I really don't think that I'm Mike's type. I think he likes a little bit more brown, you know, brown sugar. All right, let's see. Amy says, I love your work. Give us 20 more years. I guess she's saying that to Al Bernstein.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Oh. And then I saw Henry Brown from the International Hall of Fame on here. I think he was saying something too. Here we go. Boxing Playhouse. Hello, Sakura and everyone. Mr. Bernstein is wonderful. Glad to have him with us at the Boxing International Hall of Fame and being an inductee. Absolutely. That Hall of Fame status. I mean, international. You can't beat that. Antonio Cruz. Oh, wow. Y'all got Al Bernstein. Good look. Love Boxing Playhouse. Thank you guys so much. Where you see Crawford? I don't see it.
Y'all explain.
Oh, go ahead.
Michael, I can't even. Ogletree says, can y'all explain Crawford cherry picking?
Okay. Oh boy, you done hit another one of Lucas's favorite stuff. Oh my Lord. Oh wow. I cannot believe it.
Look, I'm not even gonna say he's cherry picking. Look, Kell Brooks, he's a decent fighter. I'm just saying he's very limited on his choices right now. Obviously, he's not gonna be fighting PBC fighters anytime soon.
Okay, so for me, Bud is not cherry picking. Since he's blocked out of PBC fighters for the moment, I mean, the logical choice right now would be to go with a Brook type fighter. He's got a well-established name. He's beaten Sean Porter, which Spence had a hard time with. So we get that litmus test there. And also, we don't know what to expect from Brook. He is highly skilled. Oh my God, he has some amazing skills. I just don't know how confident he feels in his own ability to perform while still, you know, kind of in the back of your mind thinking about, you know, if I make one wrong move or this guy hit me the wrong place, that's my eyesight. And I think that's going to be something that's permanently in his mind as he goes forward with fighting. So I think that's the only thing that deters him from getting into wars with people now. It's just thinking about the damage that he's already had to his eyes and eyesight. So, I mean, I think we're downplaying Brooks when we say that he's cherry picking like Lucas's favorite person, Soka.
Oh.
He brings that fight up like every two weeks. Danny Garcia, yes.
Oh.
He's like, that's terrible. All right.
Yeah, no, definitely not that bad of a cherry pick.
No, not at all. I don't know where that came from. Like, just stop it. All right, so we got Chris, our resident referee from the Florida Boxing Commission. He says Boxing Playhouse.
No filter, no chaser.
That's right. That's the way we do it. And we also do want you to check out his book that he has published that you can purchase on Amazon right now, because he is teaching us the fundamentals on how to judge, Lucas, a fight, and how to ref, or what the rules are in the fight game.
Oh,
And
wow.
Can we get that to Julie Letterman?
Yeah. Oh.
There you go. There you go.
Lucas, you better watch it before you be out of a job. Watch it.
Well, I thought that was a good joke. I hope that's what he was joking, seriously. But my thing is that Chris has did a lot of hard work in trying to explain, you know, how he as a judge and others have been taught to score rounds, so that some of the confusion that people have about the game of the sport is you know, basically, you know, it's not like gonna be so many controversies when it comes to seeing these different scorecards. We can kind of like, if we have a book like what Chris has, we can like filter it out. All right, so we'll put up that link for Chris's book. But I'm wishing him good luck, and thanks so much for writing that. I want my copy too. I need my copy. I'm gonna get my copy next Friday at the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame, guys. We are fast approaching that date, which is gonna be November 6th to the 8th, baby. I'm so ready right now, Lucas. I mean, we're gonna see Steph Lacey get inducted, the beautiful Dahlia Duran. We got some trainers, we got some coaches. We got some boxing refs, Mr. Emil, I forgot his last name, Lombardi Jr. He's going to be inducted. We got trainer Ben Getty being inducted into the Hall of Fame for Florida.
Jeff
Lacey, of course, the boxer.
Did you say Dahlia?
I did say the beautiful Dahlia. And there's plenty of more. You can go to Florida Boxing's Hall of Fame page to learn more about how you can view the fight night, which is on the 6th with TNK Boxing Promotions, and how you can then look at the induction ceremonies and things like that throughout the weekend.
You got work that.
Yes, sir.
And our special guest, Clarence from the NY, is coming down.
Yes.
To the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Also, be so honored to finally see Clarence in the flesh, him and his lovely lady.
I am, listen, I'm like, it's like, you know how when Christmas time comes, you used to believe in Santa, and you sitting up and you waiting for Santa. I'm sitting up. I'm not getting no sleep. That night before, my bags are packed already, and we're not leaving till next week.
All right, so we got Malachi chiming in from the Danger Zone. Yes, and he also appears with us on Heavy Bag Boxing from time to time. And then we start arguing with him. So every time Canelo's brought up, he gets in big argument, right, Lucas?
That's right.
He's a cool guy, man. He's a good guy.
Yes, he is, but he gotta calm down on this Canelo tip, okay? Because every time he start putting him on that pedestal, me and Lucas are right there with our like old school sneakers on, ready to kick that stool leg. Like, hey, come back down where the rest of us are at. Okay, so Malachi says PBC don't even list him as a champ. Laugh out loud. They act like he doesn't exist. You're absolutely right. He's talking about Bud Crawford, how they be doing him, acting like he doesn't have a current world championship title. But Lucas, what do you think about that title? I mean, is it a legit title? I mean, some people feel that since he grabbed it from Horn, that it's not really legit.
I prefer the guys to beat the guy, but you know what? It's a legit title still, regardless. I mean, the way he got it, it lessens it a little bit for me. But we've talked about that, like the 140 belts, and who he's actually beaten to get them. And a lot of people downplay Usyk, but I think Usyk has a better resume than Crawford does. So, it's give and take. Is like the rest of boxing is very subjective. So, really, for me, I think Crawford needs to take a chance. And by that, I mean, I think he needs to get into the PBC no matter what. I'm not saying he has to jump ship, but he may have to take like a significant pay cut, maybe, a 40-60, maybe take the lower end just to get his foot in the door, whip the crap out of somebody decent, and you're going to get paydays from there. And they're going to try to get you out of there and get that belt so they can kick Crawford back to top rank and not have to deal with him no more.
Yeah, what do you think, Emilio?
What about the WBO belt?
About the way that Bud got it is a legitimate way to establish yourself with a title by beating Horn. I would have
kind of, like Lucas said, beat the man with Pacquiao. Horn didn't really seem like he was no real champion. When he lost it in the next fight or two. Yeah, I know it's a legit belt, but I would have liked to see him, beat like a solid champion like Pacquiao to get it. I hate when guys get handed belts, and I want to see him beat the man. So
you wanted to see him win there with Pac when it was possible.
Yeah.
Well, for some reason that fight did not happen. I mean, was it Bud's team or was it Team Pac that thought that it was too much risk? What can we say about that? How did that happen?
There was a lot of rumors going around that Crawford admitted early on that he wasn't ready yet. Yeah, and he may not have been. I mean, I would have said when those rumors were going around that he wasn't ready. I definitely think he's ready now. Not to mention Pacquiao's older and lesser version of himself. But
okay, we're gonna go ahead while we got a chance here in a little break. Before we move further, we're gonna introduce Jose Jaws Ocasio. He's going to be on this Florida Boxing Hall of Fame card coming up next Friday night. Jose, let's get it on.
Wish we had some Jaws music.
There you
go.
What's up, guys? How you guys feeling?
What's going on, champ?
Awesome. I'm sick. I done took so much cough medicine. It just don't even matter at this point.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Jose, I gotta know right off bat, how did that Jaws come, man? Where that came from?
My dad, they used to call him Tiburon, which is shark in Spanish when he was coming up. He got the nickname early. He was never the most technical fighter. So he had like more of a Maidana style. So being that he was Puerto Rican, didn't know no English, he had to come out and prove himself every time he fought because he wasn't from here. And the first couple of times he fought, the minute he seen you bleeding, he'd just jump on you and take you out of there. And he was really a hard puncher for his weight. And everybody just started calling him Shark in Spanish. That name stuck with him for so many years. And a lot of people don't even know my dad's real name. They just by his nickname. And when I started coming up in the amateurs, everybody would make fun of me and call me Nemo and different things because I was saying I was trying to follow my dad's footsteps. And when I turned pro, the name kind of just stuck with me. They called me Son of Jaws. And our cousin, Obado Ocasio, he fought. They used to call him Jaws as well. He's fought Larry Holmes, Evander Holyfield. He fought everybody. And he pretty much passed down a nickname to me and blessed me with it. And it's stuck ever since.
Wow, that's like the most real meaningful moniker I've heard somebody explain. So cool. I love it.
I thought you had broke a few dudes' jaws.
No. Okay. That would have been a good one.
I was able to inherit it the right way, I guess you could say, because like I said, when I came up in amateurs, everybody would mess with me and be like, "Hey man, it's Nemo coming, Shark's son is coming," and I just kept proving myself over and over. And for how small I am in these weight classes, that a lot of people don't really have a punch behind them. And I was stopping dudes in amateurs with headgear and 12-ounce gloves. So, everybody's all right. I guess the name kind of fits him a little bit. So they gave me, and it's stuck ever since.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what I want to talk about. I mean, I know you're on the card that's coming up, and it's exciting now. But you're down in a lower weight class. We have a colleague that doesn't think any fights under 130 means anything. Now, my disclaimer is this is his opinion, not the opinion of Boxing Playhouse nor Heavy Bag Boxing. Okay, so
I mean, of course, everybody's entitled to their opinion. You know, boxing is not like football or anything. We don't have no scholarship programs or anything to come up. Boxing is pretty much all you know. A lot of boxers don't make it in regular life and have they're cut from a different cloth, and this is all we know. You know, people have asked. I'm 27. Next year will be 20 years I've been doing this, and people ask me almost every day, what will you do after boxing? What can you do as a plan B? I'm like, look, to be honest, this is all I know. Since I was a kid, the only thing I remember is getting out of school. We didn't go home and do homework and go to the park. I was at the gym till 8, 9 o'clock at night with my dad. That's all I've grown up to know. All I have to say to that is that every fighter, I don't care if you're a strawweight, 105 or 200 plus, every fighter sacrifices the same way in training. Every fighter does what they have to do to get there, And a big reason why the lower weight classes aren't processed as much as the bigger weight classes is because we've never had, standout fighters. You had Ricardo Lopez, Chocolatito, who's brought it out a little bit, but you got Naoya Inoue now bringing the name down to lower weight classes. But there's been so many great champions from Donier to other fighters have really brought out the weight class. But like I said, they're not hard hitting guys most of the time. But I mean, some of the best fights will be at 115, 118, where it's a war and they throw over 1,000 punches around. So real boxing enthusiasts know any weight, whether it be 105 or 147, is going to give you a good fight if it's the right people fighting.
Exactly. I mean, I'm down with it. I know I'm going to see some action when I get down in them weight classes, man. Yeah. I mean, and Donaire, he was one of my early favorites from when I first started re-establishing myself watching boxing after many dormant years, and I just loved him. That year was the year that he got the fighter of the year. He had that fighter of the year that year. I mean, it was just like a great time to be watching boxing where he was knocking out everybody, So like, and this is the thing that he had this war, just last year with Inoue or Inoue, how you want to say it. And, it was just a tremendous performance. He is still fighting with that type of excitement.
And that was a war. That was a war.
Pablo Sanchez was a featherweight, man.
Yeah. I mean, just last weekend we had Carlos Cuadras and Estrada fight, world title fight, 15 or 12 rounds at 115, and that was a banger. And for me, I realized right away that they didn't get the publicity that other people got.
Right.
And I understand, but if you would have watched that fight, that was a war. They both dropped each other. I mean, you see that in every weight class. So as far as I'm concerned, if you're a boxing fanatic or an enthusiast and you like watching a good fight, any weight class can give you that.
Right.
I think the same. And every time that I've seen you in the ring, you've been very entertaining, and you give me that action that I like to see. So that's why I got so excited when I found out that you were going to be on this November 6th card. After so many months of being dormant around here with boxing, I was like, oh my God, Jose Ocasio, baby. So we're glad to do that. I did see Jason Escalera on here. I don't know what he said, but what's up, Tito? Let's see. Well, we got a comment from Phone Jack over on YouTube. He said, out of all the boxers fighting on Halloween, who's the most likely to score an upset? Leo Santa Cruz, Jason Maloney, or Derek Chisora? Damn, that's an interesting question. Thanks, Phone Jack.
I'm gonna say
let's start with Lucas. Are you ready? Can you answer that?
Chisora for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
The power. And, like we were talking about earlier with Usyk, this is only a second heavyweight fight, so we're not sure how he's going to take the power.
That's true. Very true. Wow. Okay. Clarence, what you think?
Well, we know Tank is not going to lose, so we're not going to put him on that list. I'm like Lucas. I'm going for in the heavyweights. I'm going for that. That's going to be probably an upset. But we all know Santa Cruz, you know, he's great, but he's not going to upset no Tank. That's not going to happen.
Okay, and Jose, who do you think it might be?
I agree with both. I said it right away, Chisora. Leo Santa Cruz is an amazing fighter, but I think he should stay from 126 and lower. 130 and up is not going to be his game. You know, he don't have the pop like that. He has the pressure to fight anybody, but a guy against like somebody like Tank who has fundamentals, accuracy, speed, power, movement, I think Tank's going to get him out of there early, so I don't see that one. Jason Maloney's a beast, but he ain't beating that dude, and I think Chisora has the best chance. Chisora, one fight, he looked like he's ready to retire. The next fight, he comes out and blasts dudes away. So,
Yeah, you don't know what you're gonna get. That's the thing with him.
Yeah, I like him. I like Chisora. I like his attitude. I like everything about him. I think he'll give Usyk a run for his money.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had Malachi when we were talking about the belt that Bud has. He says, of course, it's legit. Laugh out loud. Horn beat Manny to get that strap. Laugh out loud. Okay.
Did he really though? Did he really?
Did he? Yeah.
I mean, I'd have an issue with it if it was Bud's first belt, but this dude is an undisputed champion at 140. You know, so they kept telling him every time you try to call out Arrow and all these guys, they would tell him, "We'll get a strap at 147, we'll make it happen." So none of those dudes wanted to see Bud even when he was at 140. And now that he's at 147 with a strap, now they're trying to say that the WBO isn't an acknowledged belt, and that's retarded. I think if you're a champion, you're a champion. No matter how you got the belt, you're a champion. I'm gonna look at you like a champion. And like I said, if it was his first belt, my opinion would be different about the 147. But none of those guys on PBC really were trying to make the fight happen. You know, these guys, they know any fight with Terrence, whether it be with Sean Porter, Arrow is gonna do pay-per-view numbers, but they're just not trying to fight him yet. So I don't know what they're going to do, if they're going to try to wait him out and make him go back to 140 or move up to 154. But I think him fighting Kell Brook is a good opening fight for him. I don't think nobody else at 147 that he's fought is anywhere near class, at least B. You know, you got Arrow and all those guys are A, even Sean and Danny, those guys are A+ fighters, and he hasn't fought nobody. I think Kell Brook still is an A+ fighter at welterweight. He only lost to Arrow, and he only lost to Triple G, and that was a different weight class. So I think Kell Brook is very big challenge for Terrence Crawford. I don't see that being a shutout like he's had against like Khan and different guys like that. So we'll see how he does. But I definitely acknowledge WBO as a world championship belt, and so did everybody when Horn beat Manny for it. So I don't know why they're trying to break it down now that Terrence has it.
I agree about Crawford, not really being tested at 147. In a lot of ways, his fight with Brook is no different than Usyk versus Chisora. We still don't know a lot about Crawford at 147.
No. I mean, he fought.
Well, we do know one thing, though. We know that there's a lot of people that seem to be avoiding him. That's what we know.
Oh, that's for sure.
And the only other thing I would have to say and add to what Jose was saying is just the fact that, when you come up from 140 and you grab all those 4 titles, you move up, that automatically puts you in the, a top ranking, 1 or 2. So, it's not a far jump to see why he would have got the fight with Horn after that belt was taken from Pacquiao. Now, the only problem now is, Sean Porter says that he's willing to fight him, but we still don't hear any whispers of that fight either.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because Sean wanted to fight him, but Crawford said, I'm not going to fight him because he's my friend. What does that have to do with it? This is business. We could be friends after, we could be friends before, but when that bell rings, all that is out the window.
Yeah.
No?
Okay. Well, I want to ask the boxer about that. I know that's your opinion, but I want to hear from somebody that be in there boxing. Would it affect you fighting a friend? Would you prefer not to fight the friend? How does that work?
Well, like I said, boxing's a job for us. We clock in and we clock out, and I've always been a nice guy. Never seen Wayne or nothing like that. So with a friend, it's just as much respect as any other opponent I have in front of me. He said, look, we can shake hands before the fight. Let's have a good time, just like if it was sparring. You know, somebody's in the way. If you're my friend, I mean, look at what happened with Errol Spence and Lamont Peterson. They were friends. They were sparring partners. Both their coaches are very good friends, and they had a great fight. And before and after the fight, they both shook hands, but it had to happen. So I look at that as an excuse. You know, I look at that as an excuse. If they want to make that fight happen, Sean is one of the top 5 in welterweight right now. Terrence is top 5. You know, that fight should happen. He's fought, you know, Thurman. He's fought Errol Spence. He's fought Danny Garcia. So he has that wherewithal about him that if you beat him, you know, it's like, oh, did he beat him better than, you know, Thurman did? And it puts you in talks with other big fighters that you're trying to get. So I think that's a fight that should happen.
I mean, especially now. I mean, you've been begging for these shots. I mean, PBC, you say PBC's dodging you. If a PBC fighter's coming at you, yeah, I don't care if that's your sister. You got to fight her at this point.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing of it is Sean Porter, he got, like, to me, I mean, he's already fought Keith. He's already fought, you know, Danny, Spence. Like, that's the logical choice. Like, yeah, let me get this man, because ain't none of them knocked him out. Maybe I might be able to knock him out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's all Tank. I mean, Top Rank, but, you know, or PBC, but something is not really clicking there for me.
I think that's the whole point of them taking the Brook fight. When they realized that Brook said he was down to come and willing to come to 147 and fight Terrence, that puts in a big, you know, talking point for boxing media. If he beats Kell Brook, you know, Kell Brook had a good fight, ended up getting stopped with Errol, ended up beating Sean Porter. So if you beat him well enough, you beat him maybe better than Errol did, or, you know, you beat him good enough to where it's like, okay, well, now the fans are asking and begging for a Sean Porter-Terrence fight or an Errol-Terrence fight. And once the media starts blowing it up out of proportion is when the promoters say, okay, maybe there is enough money to make this worth it.
Yeah, and this could end up biting them. I mean, you look bad here. You got to take, you know, a low cut.
Yep.
And then people are going to be coming for you. So, I mean, each way kind of has its own little perks.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely risky. But right now, fighting, like Duran said, back in the day, it was all glory, no dollar. Now it's more dollar, less glory. So they got to get back to the 70s, 80s. I want to fight him because I know that he's supposedly better than me. By what people say, I want to change their mind. Not, well, oh, if it makes sense, if they're giving me enough money. That's a fighter's way of saying no without saying no. It's overpricing themselves or telling everybody that, oh, well, the money's not right. You know, if I want to be the best, you can give me 100,000 or 1 million. I'm still gonna fight the dude, no matter what you pay me, because I want to show everybody that I'm better than him. And before, like I said, is no money. They were getting paid thousands for championship fights. You know, these guys are spoiled into for a championship fight, but they're doing it for the money, not because they want to be the best.
Yeah. Which is it's even more surprising that he doesn't want to fight Porter. I mean, Porter just went life and death with Errol Spence, and that is the fight that he's wanting, and that's the fight everybody's wanting. That's the mega fight. So what other way to build it than to look impressive against Porter?
Yep, and I mean, I've been in the game so long, I know how these promoters work too, and it's more or less like, let's drag it out. Let's see who he fights next and build it like they did Pacquiao Mayweather, because there's nobody right now that's doing numbers like that no more. So they're trying to build up as much as they can. So when it does happen, it's like, okay, well, we didn't just waste this generation's mega fight and only made, 1 million pay-per-view buys. We're trying to destroy that number because we don't have Mayweather fighting on there. We don't have Oscar fighting on there. So they're trying to make as much as they can, but sometimes it wears the boxing fans out waiting for it.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really have a pay-per-view star anymore.
Nope. I mean, you got Canelo, but not at welterweight. So they got to do what they can with the welterweight scene they do have now, and that is the mega fight, Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. But even I think my opinion is too soon. I think that Terrence should fight one or two of the PBC guys, whether it be Keith, whether it be Danny, Sean, and maybe Errol gets one more fight, on his way back after the accident, gets one fight in there, and then maybe a year from now they have that fight, which would be a lot bigger than it would be right now.
For sure.
What were you gonna ask, Jose?
I was just going to ask Jose, how's camp going? Are you about at fight weight, Jose? And what can we expect next week, man?
Yeah, I'm about 4 pounds off right now. I was supposed to fight 115. It might end up being 118, which is way better for me. The last 3 pounds is what kills you. But I feel great. I feel amazing. Like I said, usually the Monday of the weigh-in, the week of the weigh-in, I'm usually about 4 pounds away. I'm already 4 pounds, a little over a week away. So I'm feeling really good. Camp has been amazing. I've had some of the best sparring partners out here, and I'm ready to destroy somebody.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. I'm ready too.
You ready for a good knockout, baby?
You know I love a good knockout. All right. So we got one of your teammates here now. And it's going to be Angel La Raza, who is also on the card that night. He had an amazing performance in TNK's last show in Lakeland. That was All or Nothing 3.
Yeah,
And
that was a good fight, man.
Yeah, he was really fighting good. So let's go ahead and bring. Oh, did we lose him already? Oh, there we go. Yeah, bring Angel into the mix, babe.
Boom.
Angel, the bone power. How you like that
How
name?
you guys doing?
Up,
I like it. I love it.
This
Bone
bone power. You are in the same gym with Jose Ocasio. Tell me how y'all get it down in there. Is he sparring you and you are like a welterweight, middleweight? Junior middleweight. Is he still sparring?
Yeah, that will never happen.
Huh?
Yeah, it's sparring between me and Jose, it will never happen. But I mean, we've been training hard. Tito, he's been kicking our butt every day. It feels good. It feels great being back at it again, just from this recent fight. I was feeling good. I feel good. And right now, just picking up right after. He couldn't get better.
Okay. And that's what I forgot that Tito is your dad, Jose. So, you these dad and trainers, like, I mean, how do you deal with that, man? Is he getting on your nerves right now?
Oh man, you have no idea. I've always
gotta come out every day and just look at him.
Yeah, I've always told everybody I wouldn't be able to train with nobody else though. No matter how much we bump heads, having a father as a trainer in any type of sport, whether it be track, football, whatever, it's tough because a lot of fathers don't know when to turn off trainer and turn on dad. But my dad has been an amazing father my whole life. He's always supported me. And I would never train with nobody else. That's the only person I would fight for. He's the person that put me into this sport. He's the person that's going to take me out.
Oh, wow. The thing of it is that when I was working with my dad for even a few minutes or my mom, they would drive me crazy. I needed to get away from them and I needed a break. Tell me how you decompress, pushed you to the limit for a day.
What was that?
How do you decompress when your daddy has pushed you to the limit for the day? What do you do to, take some of that edge off that he's done caused you to have?
Oh, I curse him out, but in my head. And then I go home.
I was about to say, you too respectful. I know you're not going to get into it with him.
Nah,
but I just like, okay, so you curse him out inside.
Yeah, we've gone at it a couple of times, but once I get home, I'm around my kids. They get my mind off of anything ever. So I get home and my kids allow me to relax and get my mind off of everything. And they also motivate me to, come back the next day.
Okay, Lucas, do you have anything for these young, talented men?
No, I came in unprepared. No.
Oh, okay, no problem. Well, Bone Power here is from Puerto Rico, and so is Jose, and they're both trained by Jose's dad, Tito, who do not play at all. He is not trying to hear no shenanigans. He wants them working. I mean, he's from Brooklyn, Clarence.
Yeah. No, we're friends. We're friends on Facebook. Yeah, I know that already. I follow him all the time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
All right.
Good
so I want to hear about Bone Power. I had heard that you're a hard worker. You're very dedicated to the sport since you joined the gym, which is John tell me the name of your gym again. I forget.
16.
John 3:16
John
and 17.
Boxing
Yes,
club, yes.
boxing club. Now, and I know that you have a daughter that has some challenges. I mean, how are you able to balance all this and still get prepared for this fight coming up next week?
Hey, my wife is a big supporter for me. You know, without her, and you know, I don't think I'll be able to do much. But I mean, I just wake up every morning at 5:30 in the morning. I go, you know, do my running and have breakfast. She already have me the breakfast going. You know, my shake and everything, and I just go to work. And after work, I just go straight to the gym at 4 o'clock, 4:30. Just depend on how work goes. And then after that, I just come home and try to spend as much time as I can. I would say as much time as I can, but it's like about probably 30 an hour with them, and I just go to sleep again, and I'm out. You know, like I'm wear out. So, but you know, I mean, as long as you have the dedication, the passion for what you're doing, anything is possible. You know, you will pull any strength here, there, just to make it happen. And for me, there's no limits for what you can do in life. And plus having, you know, that big support of my wife, which has been from the beginning with me. I mean, you can really explain it. It's a teamwork pretty much, but
Yeah.
it's hard sometimes. Sometimes it's hard. And you know, my daughter is been a challenge ever since she was born and everything. But you know, God have blessed me with her. I'm happy to be her dad, and I couldn't my daughter in anybody else hands. You know, like I'm really grateful, thankful that you know she's my daughter, and I'm doing everything you know, everything I can, everything possible for me to just give her, provide her, and just give her as much love as I can together with my wife. So
I heard that you're an excellent father and that you do a great job. So, you know,
yeah, I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely proud of you for being able to be that father figure and still go after your goals, you know, and find a balance between work life and trying to make this boxing career take off. But now what I wanted to say is that I mean, I really like what I saw in that fight that you had on the 17th of October. I mean, you showed some power, but you also showed some skill.
Yeah, I got more than that. Yeah, I mean,
I was happy about that fight because of the way he fought. I told Tito his fight and Arieta's fight out of that whole card showed true boxing skill. They weren't going in there trying to stop their opponent. They were going in there with a good jab, good movement, good defense. I mean, that was a excellent display for 4 rounds of what boxing is supposed to be.
Yeah, and I heard that you got like you had a bunch of amateur titles that you won. I mean, how many titles do you have as an amateur?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Oh, Jose. I have 7. I can probably show them to you guys real quick. I have them displayed in my house. Probably a little dark, but I have a few belts up there.
Oh, it's too dark. We can hardly see them. I see 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
I see him a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to show, but yeah, it's kind of dark in here. But yeah, I have won 7 championships. I have seven belts. I represent United States.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's impressive. I'm just tell you the truth. That's very impressive. Because we got people that's 130 fights and they don't have no belts.
Angel, where you gonna put the WBC belt at? Where you gonna put that at?
I think I'm gonna just sleep with it in my room though.
Don't be like Mickey and have it on the floor, right? He had it in the closet.
He had his belt in the closet laying on some house shoes.
Wait. Wow. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask you your opinion. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, baby. What was that?
No, I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I just said that it's all about dedication and having that mentality of just being successful. That's pretty much with the short amount of fights that I have put. You know, I didn't turn the fights down. I also go for the goal. Like I'll fight. I don't care. And I'm just gonna do my best. And if I lose, I'm gonna learn from it. So, and it's been my mentality ever since. So.
That's great. Now, tell everybody where they can get their tickets, how they can get in touch with you guys to get your tickets.
Yeah, DM me, call me to the gym, Tito Casio, Jose, right here, my brother. Let us know how many you want, and we'll do whatever to provide it to you guys. So, and just to come and support, big things happening. So.
Yeah, y'all can hit me up, hit Angel up, hit my father up. You can cash app us. We can hold the tickets for you. There's plenty of ways to get tickets. You can hit up Jesus Escalera on Facebook as well. You can get tickets from him. We're not going to have it's limited limited seats. So what we got is pretty much all they're going to sell. So this is definitely a show y'all don't want to miss, man. It's going to be fireworks in the building, man.
All right, until we see Jesus Escalera from TNK Boxing in the house. He says future champions in and out of the ring. So that means a lot. That means a whole lot. That they saying you guys are like champions out of the ring as well as inside the ring. So I'm only looking to see you guys, grow and be better and better and get on that national stage, that world stage. Just keep your confidence up and keep dedicating your all your extra time and your not extra time to the sport. And we'll see you guys next week. And that's at the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame weekend, first night, Friday night, November 6th. You can also purchase your tickets on TNK Boxing's page, which is TNK Boxing Promotions. They have a link there for the fights on November 6th with the ticket link there. Or you can go to one of these guys, one of your favorite fighters, go to their page and just ask them to purchase, that you want some tickets. And that's right here in St. Petersburg, Florida, actually. So it's at the Marriott, St. Petersburg, Clearwater. Real close to everybody around here. So it's just going to be a weekend of fun and excitement. And everybody is just, in love with boxing. So if you're tired of this back and forth and this political split and racism and all this kind of stuff, this would be the weekend for you to get back to the roots of how everybody really loves each other. And when we all care about boxing, we really do it good and we all get along so well. So I'm ready for this weekend. How about you?
Most definitely. I can't wait, man. The Hall of Fame weekend. It's going to be a lot of fighters. Future champions from the past, the inductee ceremony, the live card that Friday. It's going to be a 3-day event. So, man, get there the best way you can. I know Clarence is coming down. Can't wait to see my man.
Yes. And speaking of that, Clarence Booth is also the 10K boxer that's going to be a main event on the card. And then we also have a DeBella fight with Callie. Yes. Is it Callie Reese with a K versus Candy Crush? Yes. Candy Crush Riot. It definitely is. I can't believe that on our card. Yeah. All right, Lucas, you're up. Tell us anything you want to say about tonight before we get ready to wrap things up. What was your favorite part?
I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed everything, actually. I mean, I appreciate you guys having me on the show. I love the interaction there with Jaws, Al Bernstein, of course. I mean, just overall, it was a great show. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for having me on your show every week. And that is Tuesdays. It's called Tough Talk Tuesdays. It comes on at 9 p.m. And We got a lot of different opinions on this one, guys. You got to check it out. Clarence, you can be the witness that anything is possible when you listening to Tough Talk. We got people talking about the belts. We got people upset with matchups, with organizations like, you know, the promoters. So you can hear it all. It's all the boxing news included. So we'll have fun. Oh, and we have eye candy too, don't we, Lucas?
We got eye candy of the week, which is still cringeworthy for me. We got tweet of the week. You know, it's a weird segment, but apparently it's catching on.
Yeah.
I can't believe Rob ain't giving the 130 below no love.
Oh man, yeah.
Wow.
Rob's a character in himself, so yeah.
There's a lot of action in them weight classes down there.
Wait a minute, is that Clarence Booth down here? And we can't see your picture though.
Yeah, that's Clarence.
Oh, that's Clarence. We'll bring him up for a few minutes. Lucas, if you need to go, then let us know. But I want to introduce, let you meet Mr. St. Pete, Clarence Booth.
His headline in the card, ain't it?
Out of St. Petersburg Boxing Club. What's up?
What's up? What's up?
What's up, champ?
My phone went dead, man. I would have been on, man.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take your phone for real.
I swear, somebody need to. It don't do nothing to get him away.
Oh my goodness, man.
Clarence, you ready, man? How's champ? Are you ready?
Man, hell yes, I am, bro.
Okay.
Yes, I am, man.
All right.
They can't get hit no faster, man.
I think this is gonna be the first time we're seeing you fight, man. All these different cards. This is gonna be our first time seeing you live, me and Sakura.
Yeah, we haven't seen you live yet, man. It's gonna be our first time actually seeing you live.
Oh, for real? You don't see me fight before?
Yeah.
Yes, we have not seen you live fight before.
Damn, I ain't know that.
Yeah, this gonna because he's supposed to be on a couple other cards, but I forgot what happened.
I ain't know that, man. What's up, fellas? What's up, Angel? What's up, Clarence? How y'all doing, man?
What's going on, Steve? Brother?
Cool, man.
All right.
Huh?
Oh, we're missing Jose. Where's Jose?
I think he checked out.
Oh, Jose. I know he's still down here, but something's wrong with his feed. But listen, what I want to talk about with you, Clarence, is are you still sticking to this situation where you're going from welterweight to almost a lightweight?
I'm walking around at 142 right now. You tell me.
Okay, so you
ready.
still with it. What you gonna fight at during this fight coming up next week?
140.
140. Wow. So you done went down 4 pounds already.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't keep my weight. I work so hard. It's hard for me to even keep weight on me.
Okay, now, so tell us this then. What are you doing with that diet? I mean, what are you able to eat? Staying down to that place.
At first I was all vegan. First I was, trying to stay away from the meat and stuff like that. But we fighters, you know what I'm saying? We need that high testosterone type of shit, you know what I'm saying? So I had to go back in a little bit, though. I had to go back in and then I mean, I eat what I want to eat, you know what I mean? But I just don't eat I don't eat nothing like bad, like a lot of sugar and salt. Like I just don't eat that. I've never really been a big fan of it, but I just eat a lot of the good stuff. Eat a lot of healthy stuff, a lot of greens, a lot of white meat, chicken.
Yeah.
Hey Clarence, how much your twin brother walk around at? You know?
Shit, my weight.
Oh, for real?
Hey, everybody think I'm him now.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Everybody.
Wow. And he don't train like you, do he?
Yeah, he trained. He always he don't train like I do, but he do his in shape thing. He be trying to stay in shape,
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so how are those lovely kids of you that be driving you crazy that you spoil to death?
Say what?
How are those kids of yours that drive you crazy, but you still spoil them. How are they doing?
Yeah. They doing real good, man. They doing real good. Growing up on me, you know what I mean? Just I mean, you know, it's they just growing, man. You know what I mean? They just being kids, man. They're beautiful, they're smart, and they just being kids. I really can't complain. I really can't really say they drive me crazy these days. They just I just be blessed to be around them. You know what I'm saying? Even when they hard headed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I don't really get too mad at them too much no more, man.
Hey, Clarence, your boys, they still hitting the bag at the gym with you?
Yeah, I'm training a lot of kids right now too. You know what I'm saying? I'm training different kids right now. They still mess around. They still mess around in the gym and stuff like that. But my oldest boy, Clarence, the one that was going in real hard, he kind of fell back a little bit. He want to be he on that football stuff right now, so I let him do what he do. You know?
Wow.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's a football state. It's kind of like, you know, tough for a few years.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody Kenny does the, you know, football, tiny tots and stuff, but everybody's trying to do this boxing game.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It's a whole different animal right here.
Exactly, it ain't no game, you know.
Yeah.
So, tell me what it is that you like about the other two fighters that's going to be on the card tonight with you. We got Jose Ocasio-Jones.
Oh.
And then we got Angel the Bone Power.
Bone Power.
I mean, and what are you looking forward to on this card, Clarence?
Man, I'm looking for a good night, man, of boxing. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for a good night of boxing, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel confident that everybody gonna do their part. You know what I'm saying? Every fighter on both sides. You know what I'm saying? I just want everybody to be, you know what I'm saying, smart. Everybody come out healthy.
Oh, Clarence' phone
He
ran out. His phone ran out.
That Wi-Fi.
Oh no.
That's why you can't be in the car. He's finna get a beating again.
There you go.
You are really gonna get a beating for me next week. I told you can't be in the car. You gotta be by some Wi-Fi. I don't know why he keep messing with me as a black woman. Clarence. Look, he's still trying to figure it out. Yo, I'm tired of him. Okay, so every time he come on here, he have some type of phone issues. That's the inside joke. Like,
Oh man.
No.
either the Wi-Fi's out or the battery's about to die, or the phone fell one time. Remember, the phone just fell right out of his hands.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I had to get on him. Okay, guys. I mean, I want to say that I'm excited about the fights. I also want to see Taz, Carice Brown, and make her comeback fight. Yeah. And let's see, who else was on the card? I forgot who else was on the card. That's not good.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, in the gym, what was saying? What's other guy?
Oh, is Ariana gonna fight?
Yeah, he's fighting.
Yeah,
Oh, I had forgot about that.
Yeah, he's going.
Okay.
No.
And what weight is he gonna fight at, guys?
Right now it was looking at either 126 or 130. But his natural weight is 122.
Oh wow, so he's gonna get that down there.
Been active. He just fought 2 weeks ago in Lakeland. You know, after you fight, you want to eat a little bit, take 1 or 2 days rest, and he got back into training. So they're keeping the weight a little bit high just to make it more comfortable. But yeah, he's gonna be fighting, so he's going for 14-0.
Jose, y'all gonna put that gym on the map, man, in another year or two.
Yeah.
They're gonna be talking about y'all gym.
God willing, that'd be great. You know, Gamaliel did it first for us. You know, he fought Lomachenko on the Mayweather Pacquiao card. So he much put us up there. And it's our turn, you know, to continue. And hopefully me, Angel, and Arieta will continue with our pro careers and keep going, you know.
Right.
Okay, so we got the female.
Clarence is back.
Yeah, he's back.
Where you go? I told you, you and your phone, man. We're gonna have it out. We're gonna have it out for real.
Still can't hear him.
Yeah, now we can't hear you.
Can't hear it.
Can't hear you.
Hey, Shakur, you're gonna have to whoop him when you see him next week. You have to give him a good whooping next week when you see him.
For real, he already know what's coming. He already know it. He like, damn, I be messing up with his sister. Okay, so we got Candy Wyatt versus Callie Reese for the vacant WBA World Female Super Lightweight Championship. So that's gonna be a pretty good fight.
Oh yeah,
they start getting some good power up there.
That's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, and then we got Clarence Booth, and then let's see. I guess he's gonna be fighting at junior welterweight. We do have Jose Ocasio.
Jose.
And then we got Justin Jones, Reese Brown, Bryce Mills, and Angel Jose La Raza. Who is that? Who is that? All right. So, I mean, guys, how did you feel when you found out that DeBella was actually bringing in a title fight?
That excited me. That excited me a lot. I followed Callie Reese for a while now. She can fight, man.
Yeah, she's a pretty girl too. I like her.
Yeah, she can fight. So I'm excited to see that. Excited to meet her, be able to see her fight live, and it's also, you know, it brings a little bit more brightness to the show, being that it's a title. Right. So more publicity. Her fight actually the next day is going to be aired on Impact TV. You know, that fight's going to be live, so it's going to be a good fight. And for me, it's a blessing and a privilege to be able to fight on the same card as her.
Aw, well, that's sweet. I love that because, you know, it's going to take a lot of male boxers like yourself putting the emphasis on females for them to have a spotlight and get more people interested in women's boxing. So since I helped try to get female boxing out there more with our ladies' night, which is next week, I really appreciate you doing that because you just don't know how much that means and elevates female boxing just for a male boxer to say that.
I mean, if you guys were there in Lakeland, that fight with Carice and Odessa, that was a crazy fight, you know. Them girls,
they was going at it.
Like I was saying,
pork chops and ham hocks and
like I was saying earlier about the weight classes, it's the same thing I feel about women and men's boxing. If it's a good fight, it's a good fight, whether it's a female or a guy. And right now, these girls are getting they I don't know what's in the milk. They're getting stronger and stronger. These girls are dropping left and right. So
you know what, you're saying that, but to me, all the boxers, male and female, it's just becoming more and more elite. All the athletes have more and more that they offer. You know what I'm saying? Just from the technology standpoint, just from what we know about nutrition and diet and you know, different things that's out there for you guys to do that's new, like the freezer. What's the hyperbaric chambers and the, you know, where you can do I forgot the name of it, where they, you know, you actually go into the cold area. I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, I mean, like every
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it, but you know, all of these things that you have at your disposal now that they didn't have back in the day. And that's why I think anybody who actually says that, you know, boxing now is not boxing now is and all that, the fighters aren't this and that, I think they're totally wrong. I think the athletes are great. I just think the way that people, management and promotions and things like that maneuver these boxes are not doing them justice. So, I mean, for any of you guys that's like casual fans, you need to realize and recognize, like, you know, you can have a heavyweight boxer now that is like the equivalent size as an Ali, or, you know, it has moves, can move faster than him. Like, look at Tyson Fury. I mean, you got boxers out there that can do a lot more, but they're not setting them up against opposition for these huge bouts anymore. And they're making us wait too long to see you guys on a big stage, you know, with the big fights. I think that's a major problem. I mean, but you guys can tell me what you think about that.
I mean,
Yeah,
every generation has to get better. And I think this generation has proved that we have so many prospects this year in the last 4 or 5 years that we've had in a long time. You know, in the early 2000s, you had about 10 fighters that were standing out. You know, you had Gotti, you had De La Hoya, you know, and I think this generation, you got the Ryan Garcias, the Tank Davis, you know, guys like that, Teofimo that are coming up, Lomachenko, and it's just changing the game and bringing boxing back like it was in the early 2000s. And like I said, every generation has to have those certain guys that brings boxing up to the next level. So, you know, Lomachenko showed us how we move in hyper speed, so the next generation is going to be moving just like him and hitting hard, you know. So I think it's good, and I think, you know, boxing still has a long way to go, but ain't no sport in the world topping boxing.
Absolutely.
Jose, I'm sitting here drinking, man, and I'm thinking as you get bigger, I'm trying to think how you can incorporate a real Jaws into your show when you get, you know, a little bigger. I'm trying to think right now how we can bring a real shark.
You gonna bring?
Fight.
Oh, you want to bring a real shark? Oh, you go ahead with that one now.
Here thinking about it, man.
Hey,
Listen,
Emilio,
Emilio, don't make me change my mind. I'm coming out.
Yo, I
You
promise.
coming to the fight?
When Jose fight for the title, I want to see a real Jaws in there somewhere.
We're gonna put that mascot Jaws head on Jose. That's what we gonna do.
Nah, man.
Now that's better.
Flying into with a jaw, fighting a trunk or something.
Yeah,
look, I
exactly.
promise. I'm gonna make it happen. If I'm gonna tell y'all now, if I ever make it, I promise Emilio, you and me gonna be walking around with a little tank in front of us on wheels.
I can see that, Jose. I can see that.
We just gonna roll it to the
Long as that music plays. You gotta play that music for a little bit.
Right.
That Jaws music.
Hey Jose, let me ask you something. This is a question for both of y'all. Like after having a fight, what's the best meal to have after going a couple of rounds with a dude? What's the number one meal that you always have?
Pasta.
Okay.
Any type of pasta.
Me, I eat whatever I found, as long as it stays on the healthy side. You know, like mashed potatoes, carrots, and stuff like that. Any meat that is kind of grilled and stuff like that, nothing fried, but pretty much veggies and stuff like that. That's how I go, and I eat a lot of it. So I just it feels me good since that's what I eat all the time. Eating a bigger portion of it, it just fills me up better, and it just make me, feeling stronger. So I guess.
Hey, Jose, today we got a legend's birthday, man. Cotto, man. How y'all feel about? I know y'all both Puerto Rican. How y'all feel about Miguel Cotto?
That's one of the dudes. That's one of the dudes
man.
that fight, man. Every Cotto fight, I remember going to Wing House or something, watching him fight Judah. I mean, that was a thing.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, I grew up watching him fight. So right now, like when I started boxing and everything, I used to go to my friends or go anywhere just to watch him fight because he was the one that was at the moment when I started boxing and everything. And ever since, I barely remember Tito Trinidad when I was little, hearing people in the streets, oh, Tito won, and celebrations about him. And then pretty much from there, and then Cotto, it's amazing.
So Rafael Gomez, I saw some pictures. He had a lot of pictures with Rafael Gomez. Your dad?
Yeah, man, we're really cool with him, man. Every time we go to Puerto Rico, we visit him. Amazing guy, man. Still does a lot of things for the sport. That was one of the best fighters. Duke, that boy was a monster.
Yeah, he was, man. And he had an awesome record before, when he fought Salvador Sanchez. I think almost all his fights were knockouts almost.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he was like 34-0, 34 knockouts, something like
that.
Yeah,
man, he had a crazy record when they fought.
But Sanchez was a monster too. They just didn't think about it. Like, oh no, he got curls, man. He ain't gonna be able to do nothing. But that breaks off of Gomez, but fight, man. At the time too, Gomez was getting into all kinds of stuff in Puerto Rico and not taking his career serious no more, man. He kind of went downhill after that. But man, before that, in that boy's limelight, he was a beast, man.
Wow.
Well, you know what I got to say about Cotto? I feel like Cotto is one of the most underrated fighters that has ever gone as far as he's gone and fought who he's fought. Like, how can he not be on people's list of so higher to me? Especially
he
the
fought,
last belt that he had.
Hall of Famers back to back. I mean, he fought anybody they put in front of him. He never heard.
And not only fought him, but fought well. Like, I mean, he gave them some issues. Each one of them fights, it was like, damn, they had to try to figure him out. And he was never like the type to complain when a decision wasn't right, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just was like, okay, this is my job. This is what I came to do. Very strict professionally. And I love that about Cotto.
And parents were saying, like on a Puerto Rican Day Parade, it was a big thing in New York, right?
Huh?
I was saying when Cotto fought in New York on a Puerto Rican Day Parade, that's a big thing up there, ain't it?
Oh man, that was a great thing. It was two things I got excited in New York about. When I knew Cotto was coming to town, I got excited about that. When I knew the parade was coming, I got excited about it. Yeah, I got excited about it. My first Cotto fight that I went to was Cotto versus Zab Judah. And I was kind of mad because I was like, you know what? He's not going to win this. I said, Zab might get him. And towards the end, I was like, oh, man. I mean, he put on a beautiful performance. It was a great fight. And, Cotto, I loved him. From that point, I became a big Cotto fan. I stayed with him from that day on.
Right. Did you see his last fight when he fought Ali? What's his name when he lost?
That was Ali.
Ali? That was the last fight I went to. I went to that fight. That was the last fight. Yeah, I cried because it was like I knew that was gonna be it. And I grew up watching Cotto, and I knew that was gonna be it. So it kind of hurt. It kind of hurt me to see him go.
Right.
You
know, the thing about that fight was, I was like, Cotto is really trying to be. He still was such a class act. I really felt like he was just giving that title over to Ali to hand to the next generation, because he could have won that fight to me. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he didn't even have to win, but I know he could have.
Yeah.
Hold on, Jose, we can't hear you now.
Can't hear Jose, yeah.
Is he?
Say something? No, we can't hear Jose. Well, he'll call back in. Angel, what do you think about his legacy? I mean, have you ever taken some of his movies?
Well, not really. I mean, he's more like I like to work body and everything, just to say, something like that, but I'm more, so I just try to keep my style fight. If I get to go inside and everything, then I just work it out. But I mean, Cotto Tejas is there. He is a 4-time different title champion. Like he's gonna be there for the whole history.
Okay, Jose, what was you gonna say about that?
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's not a question. I know you was trying to make a comment about the Cotto situation when we was talking about Cotto and his, legacy.
With that fight too, he pulled his bicep muscle like in the 8th or 7th round, and still 12 rounds, biceps there, and didn't use that as an excuse. The guy asked him, I think if you guys remember correctly, the interviewer asked him afterwards, if he felt like if he didn't get injured, if he would have won the fight, and he told him there was no excuse on his side. Saddam was just better. And for me, that's as high as a professional as you can get. He's always carried himself as a big professional. Yeah. That's one thing I always respect about Cotto. He never had any excuses. Even with the Margarito incident.
Oh my gosh.
Not once did you ever hear Cotto say, "Oh yeah, he definitely used it. He used it." He avoided the question every time. He didn't want no excuses. He wanted to come back and beat him and say, whether you have him or not, or used him or not, I still beat you. He
beat the brakes off him that second fight, though, didn't he? I mean, everybody was like, "Yeah, get him!" Like, I would have been all right if he'd have just like passed out in the middle of the ring from Cotto beating his ass. I was so mad.
Yeah.
I was like that. What he did was just so atrocious. I felt like he should never have been allowed to fight ever again once they found out about that.
Yeah,
I really felt
Definitely.
like messed up.
Definitely.
me, man. Kodo held it and handled the situation amazing. It could not have been me. I would have saw him in the first press conference we had.
Yeah, exactly. Knowing that, wait a minute, that's why I was feeling that way during that fight. That's why I almost felt like I was going to die in the ring that night. This man is using concrete and gloves. I mean, how outrageous. And I still can't get over it because it's like Cotto don't even get his just dues or props for staying in that fight as long as he did and still give, being a participant in that fight with so much against him.
And he was winning.
Yeah, it took a lot for him to be able to take a knee and just kind of say that was enough. I mean, that's a lot of respect for me to be able to see something like that to where he was just getting punished, and he still wanted to fight, but he got to a point where, he thought about like his family and stuff. And I mean, that was it, that was pretty much, he had to take a knee.
Exactly. Remember that?
Yeah. I was going to ask Jose, you and Angel, what do y'all think about this young dude, Edgar Berlanga, that super middleweight dude?
He hits way too hard, man.
He's one scary guy.
Man, he does.
Hard, man.
He's one scary guy to play against, though.
I want to see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I want to see him tested. I was just telling my dad about him. The last fight that he had, that he's had 15 fights, has had 15 rounds. That's it. And
Right.
I know how he's going to deal with a good boxer that's going to take him 12 in one fight. He hasn't even been to the second round yet, So that's going to play a big part when you're fighting top 10, top 15 guys.
Yeah.
Can take a punch or they can avoid a punch and see how he reacts when he gets past. Because a lot of, like for me, all my fights were first round knockouts. When I fought Gabriel, I dropped him in the first round, and in my mind, I'm like, oh, he ain't getting up. And it messed me up mentally when he got up and gave me the rest of the fight, a hard fight. And after the fight, I thought about that, and I was like, man, that's the first time I went 4 rounds. Everybody else, once I hit him, they didn't get back up. He got back up and gave me a fight, and I wasn't ready for that. And that's even something I've thought about before that fight was, someone's going to go past 1 round. But for him, it's like 15 consecutive first-round knockouts. What happens when that one person takes him to the 5th or 6th round? Is he going to gas?
Right.
Going to break down mentally? So I really want to see more of him. But I'm a fan. I cannot wait to see dude fight again. I mean, I think no doubt they're handling his career amazing. And no doubt he'll be a world champion.
Man, if he keep winning, can you imagine him and Benavidez fighting if he keep going?
That'd be a fight right there, yo.
Hey, Emilio, I was just thinking, for him to be Puerto Rican and to be from Brooklyn, that's a bad combination, man.
It's a bad combination.
It's a bad combination.
Where you at, Claire?
Huh?
I think Danny Jacobs coach trained him. Danny Jacobs coach.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. That's why he has to do the push-ups every time after the fight, because he doesn't do something that he's supposed to do. He has to do the push-ups after every fight.
As a punishment for him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a punishment. Yeah.
Like the girl that fought Carissa Brown, she's from that gym as well. She trains alongside Edgar Berlanga. Danny Jacobs is one of her sparring partners. His trainer, Andre Rozier, is her trainer. And
Who is this now? I couldn't catch the name.
The girl that fought Carissa Brown in Lakeland.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Melissa Odessa. Yeah, she trains out of that gym in Brooklyn. And you can see it because she had technique for days, man. You can see how she gets good work.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about her beforehand because when I would look up her record, it just said it was her pro debut. Yeah, so that's a little misleading too.
I think she was like 82-5 or something like that as an amateur, so she had a good amateur record as well.
Mm-hmm.
Tito said her boyfriend was that wrestler MVP that was there. Did you see that wrestler?
I was backstage with y'all the whole time.
This was at the weigh-in, Jose. He was there.
Oh no, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
He
I'm
wasn't
telling
paying
you,
attention.
I get more nervous when my teammates are fighting because I wasn't fighting that night. So I had Angel and I had Arieta fighting, so my mind was like somewhere else. I didn't notice anybody at all. I get
what
way
I'm
too
talking
nervous
about.
when my people are fighting. So I'm like, all right, let's
That's
go.
that team love that he got for
Yeah.
everybody that got him nervous.
Hey, Jose, Jose, what's your favorite punch, man? Is it the body? What you like to land?
Man, my favorite punch is a body shot. That's
Body shot.
That's my favorite. For me, like y'all know, I don't talk before weigh-ins. I'm not a trash talker. I'm not gonna sit there. I don't get paid to talk. I get paid to fight, and that's how it's always been my mindset. So like, I like these guys that talk at weigh-ins, and when you hit them in the body one good time in the fight, you see their face get red, and their whole mindset changes. That I feel that's the best part for me. You see them look at you like,
Yeah.
then run away.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I can't see anybody fight.
What about you, Angel?
Best punch. Angel, are you stuck? Oh, is he? Oh, oh, there you go. What's your best punch?
Oh, it's his Wi-Fi, I think.
Yeah, it's Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, his best punch to me is his jab. When he uses that
jab?
jab, power jab.
Wow. Okay, I love this jab in that fight too. You just made me. His stance and his jab is really technically perfect. It really
That's the best one. The best one.
What did he say?
We were having a hard time hearing you, Angel. What was that?
It's Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Yeah, your Wi-Fi is acting up, and Angel.
And also, one thing about
well, it's about time for us to wrap up anyway, guys. So I've had enough with all issues.
Yeah, I'm still.
Okay, we were asking about.
Well, I like to jab a lot, so and pop that jab. I mean, give me 1 second.
He likes jab. Oh, okay. You know how sometimes people have a perfect jab or a perfect this, but then they don't like to use it. That's not their favorite thing, even though it's like the most perfect thing they can do.
Yeah, his jab to me is an amazing punch in sparring. For how tall he is, he's like 6'2", and the dude moves like a lightweight when he wants to, and he'll dodge and move punches off of you, and it's like, dang. And I feel like he hadn't been able to show that yet in his fights. The last guy didn't put enough pressure, so I kept telling him, just keep working the jab. You catching him whenever you want, so just keep working.
You guys got me back again?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
My phone was dying. I'm sorry, my phone was dying, and I was just kind of waiting. But I waited a little too long.
No problem, man. We're excited to see both of you guys. We want to wish you good luck. I mean, we haven't even ate yet tonight, so we got to find us some food.
That makes two of us.
Yeah, we're the bad people. We need to get on a health regimen. We need to have Jose put us on a regimen. I bet you we'll be small in. Clarence, thank you so much for being a part of the show tonight.
Yeah, thanks.
Anytime. So much.
We want to thank, no problem. And we want to thank Al Bernstein, the International Hall of Famer and Showtime extraordinaire broadcaster analyst, for coming on and giving us his time tonight too. That was really amazing. I'm like, wow.
It's always been.
And we also want to thank Heavy Bag Boxing, Lucas Biggers, for showing up and showing out tonight with us. And I also would like to thank each and every one of our boxing fans that hung in here with us tonight. And we want to make sure that you go to both of these boxers' pages and click like and subscribe to their pages tonight too. Plus, Mr. St. Pete, Clarence Boo, is also on the card. Sign up for his page, and Chris Brown as well. Guys, until next week. Well, actually,
let me say something, baby.
Go ahead and give us your closing thoughts for the night, guys. Oh, now I can't hear Jose.
Jose, we can hear you. Well, I'll go ahead and do it. I want to thank you guys for having me in the show. I'm really thankful for the opportunity to just talk with you guys and have this conversation and talk about boxing. I want to thank you. I want to thank Jesus Escalera, TNK Promotion, Untitled Boxing Promotion, no promotion sponsors. I just keep saying promotion, but yeah, I want to thank them all and for the opportunity that they are providing to us fighters coming up. So thank you guys.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
Absolutely. We look forward to seeing your career take off too.
Definitely.
Clarence, you got any last words?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to start off by thanking you and Amelia. You know, I love y'all so much. Every time y'all bring me up here, it's an honor and it's a pleasure. And I got to talk to Bernstein. That was I never thought that would happen. You know, I want to thank y'all so much for everything that y'all do. I love y'all to death. So,
Oh man,
thank
love
you
you
so
back,
much.
bro. Thanks.
Yes.
Well, we'll do our best. And then Jose Jaws
Hear me now?
Ocasio.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. I just want to say thank you guys. It's always a pleasure coming out here with you guys and seeing you guys at the fights. It's a huge privilege for me to be up on here with my boy Angel, with Clarence. It's always a good time. So I appreciate you guys. I want to say thank you to Landmark Mortgage Planners, one of my favorite.
Landmark.
I want to say thank you to T&K, Tito, having faith in us and getting us these fights, you know, keeping us active. So I want to say thank you to that. And then also thank you to my father, who's my trainer, always keeping us in shape and ready to go. And then to Sakura and Amelia, I appreciate y'all.
Oh yeah, most definitely, Jose. Man, thanks.
We love you guys. And
Yeah.
thank you so much for always supporting Boxing Playhouse. You can find us at boxingplayhouse.com, Boxing Playhouse, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and of course, Facebook Live. And we'll see you Saturday when we talk to Callie Reese at 5 p.m. And then we also are going to be on next Thursday, which probably will be live at the weigh-ins or directly after the weigh-ins. So please make sure that you guys tune in for the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame weekend with these two boxers.
Yes.
Go.
All right. Take care, everybody. Peace.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Good night.
Night.